David numbers the fighting men. Satan rose up against Israel and incited David to take a census of Israel. So David said to Joab and the commanders of the troops, "Go and count the Israelites from Beersheba to Dan. Then report back to me so that I may know how many there are." But Joab replied, "May the Lord multiply his troops 100 times over. My lord the king, are they not all my lord's subjects? Why does my lord want to do this? Why should he bring guilt on Israel?" The king's word, however, overruled Joab. So Joab left and went throughout Israel and then came back to Jerusalem. Joab reported the number of the fighting men to David. In all Israel, there were 1,100,000 men who could handle a sword, including 470,000 in Judah. But Joab did not include Levi and Benjamin in the numbering because the king's command was repulsive to him. This command was also evil in the sight of God, so he punished Israel. Okay, so where we were was that, remember, David had been put in charge of Israel after Saul, because Saul had passed away. And so the people came and were rejoicing, and David also was having being able to defeat all the enemies, all the people around Israel, and help protect Israel, as well as have plenty of victories. He also was able to bring the Ark of the Covenant, which is with that holds the law, and to the city of David, Jerusalem. But first he had to remember the instructions. He had to do it correctly. And remember, instructions are important too. And the Lord left us with a whole book of instructions called the Bible. And so I know a lot of us, when we get things, and then we talked about this in the previous Bible study, we get things and we don't read the instructions, right? We think we know what to do, and that's not so much the case. And especially in life, and especially in righteousness and in victory with the Lord, with Jesus. And so the Lord provided us with an instruction book. And so after that, though, David had the Lord's help wherever he went. He was able to rout and defeat all of Israel's enemies, and he relied on the Lord. However, he is human, and thus when the devil to temptation, and it starts right off telling us, Satan rose up against Israel and incited David to take a census of Israel. So what happens is David was doing all this good. He loves the Lord. He's worshiped the Lord, and we'll see just how beautiful. Because I was reading the book of Psalms earlier today, and I was just taking note of just how beautiful. If you really want to know worshiping with your heart, your soul, your mind, your whole body, what that looks like, what that feels like, what that is, go into the book of Psalms, and we're going to get there too, right? So taking each book at a time. But it's however, David's human. And unlike Jesus, who was human too, but it was God's son, who was perfect and sinless. Man, when we get tempted, sometimes we're able to fight off temptation with the Lord's help, of course. But other times, if we don't seek the Lord, and we just kind of want to try to do things on our own, doesn't turn out right. In fact, as you can see, David thought of this, and it was given to him by the devil. Hey, count the people, take a census, see how many people, see how rich and wealthy you are. When it was not necessary, it was not needed, because David had full faith and full reliance on the Lord, right? But he also wanted to see how many people he had, because, at any time something could happen, right? That's not fully relying on the Lord. There's all kinds of things that you can take from this. These are sermons upon sermons or on sermons, especially the fact that David was tempted. He was tempted and he failed the temptation. He gave in. That's the easy thing to do in life for us. That is the easy thing to do. Think about it through all of our lives, through all kinds of stuff. It is when people think about and talk about, oh, life's so hard and everything. And what we do continually is hit that easy button. We always hit that easy button because it feels like we're getting some type of quick relief. We're getting some type of relief and some type of something that's helping us when that's not the case. May not necessarily be the case. Life is not going to always be easy, nor is it something that we can just forcefully make it so. And so we need to take a moment to bring it to the Lord, bring the Lord in our choices and in all aspects of our life, and think about it that way. And that will help prevent us from losing in those battles of temptation, in those battles with the devil. It just starts off with a bang, boom. Here's David, he loves the Lord, he worships the Lord, he's very passionate, and yet, boom, right here, Satan rose up against Israel and incited David. David took the bait. And so there's going to be consequence to this, of course, because like a good parent, like a good shepherd, there's discipline. The Lord is right and just for discipline. So, but we'll get to that. But there's a lot here. So reading over this first part, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind? How does it make you feel? And what does it make you think?